Hey everyone. Now first of all, I apologize if this video goes off prematurely because, it's been doing that lately. But I want to talk about something that occurred last night on Monday Night Raw. And I know a lot of people have talked about it in their reviews. I know Schleg Daddy's going to talk about it when he talks about Night of Champions and Raw. But that is the fact. But what I'm talking about is last night, we've always been saying that this Divas Revolution needs a spark. It needs something to kind of get people talking about it, get it going, give it that oomph, give it that electric charge that it needs to take off to the races and really be what it needs to be. Well, last night, we pretty much got that spark. We got that jump start, that electric charge that it needs. And the reason I say that is because last night, everybody was expecting, especially over the way things had happened over the past couple of weeks with her character, everybody was expecting Paige to turn heel. Now, quite honestly, when I saw a little bit of Night of Champions, because I was working as well, not working, but I was sleeping, I was tired from work anyway, but when I saw a little bit of the Divas title match, I expected afterwards Paige to attack Charlotte and ruin the moment. But they didn't do that, and they held it off till last night, which I commend them for, because last night, again, this Divas Revolution, if you will, got the spark, the jolt to the arm that it needed. It got that shot to the arm, the jolt to the arm, the spark, you name it. It got exactly what it needed to really hopefully take off and be what it's expected to be. See, last night, Paige delivered, as people are paraphrasing it, a Paige bomb. Basically the equivalent of a CM Punk pipe bomb or an AJ Lee pipe bombshell. But basically, Paige pipe bombed or Paige bombed everything about the Divas and the Divas Revolution. In other words, Paige shot on everything. She shooted, if you will. Now, whether it was partially worked shoot or not, apparently Paige was given the opportunity tonight to finally voice her frustrations. Because, let's be honest. If she really shot, she wouldn't be calling Charlotte or Becky by their stage names, or even talking about Team Bad or Team Bella or the Third Wheel. No, she'd be getting really real. If you kind of get my drift, and she did. She did get real. Did she overstep some boundaries with certain things that she said? Maybe. But the thing is, the Paige bomb she did last night is exactly the spark that Revolution needed. So that way, people will tune in and wonder, okay, what is she going to do next? What is she going to say next? Now, apparently, it almost looks like, according to some people, they're teasing a possible alliance between her and Natty. Of course, Natalya returned last night to job out to Naomi. But, again, it looks like they might be teasing something there with Natty and Paige being the real anti-divas, if you kind of get my drift. The real anti-divas. The ones that are like, look, we don't need to be looking all flashy and, this and that. We're just going to go out there, do our job, leave, that's it. That's what we do. We're wrestlers. That's it. Now, it looks like they're doing that. And it looks like they're teasing that, but we're not totally sure yet. It would be interesting. It would be. But, on the other hand, this does raise a question. Obviously, it seems that superstars and divas now have a clause in their contract. Whether it's a clause that they could use at any time they want, and numerous times as much as they want, or it's just something that they could do once in a while. But it seems that a lot of superstars and divas over the past few years have exercised some kind of clause into the contract that allows them, especially if they come from the indie circuit, that allows them to, when the time is right, go out there and speak their mind. Basically shoot, if you will. CM Punk, we know, did it in 2011. We know AJ did it about a year or two later. And now Paige has done it. And one thing all three of these people have had in common, one thing they have all in common, is they both came from the indie circuit. All three came from the indie circuit. All three made a name for themselves on the independent circuit. So obviously they've worked something into the clause, into the contract to do that. Now, of course, you know, they're not the only ones that sometimes will go out there and pipe bomb. Even established WWE stars, like let's say Big Show, he even did it once to Punk. And, you know, or even WWE Hall of Famers legends like Kevin Nash. You know, they have the right to go out. You know, they obviously can have some pull that allows them to do something similar. But here's my question. Here's my question. Are the pipe bombs that the superstars and divas give, are these pipe bombs a little too risky? Hear me out. We know that when people tell you, hey, tonight, to build up to, you know, either your championship match against John Cena, like with CM Punk, or to establish that you are the only diva that's not going to sell out to be on some kind of show, and that you're more focused on what you do in the ring, like let's say AJ, or if it's to help develop your character into being the ultimate anti-diva, maybe along with Natalya down the line in Paige, the question does get arised, is it a little risky? Because according to sources after last night's Paige bomb, Paige might face some consequences. Might. Not saying she will, but she might. Those consequences being possible punishment, because she came out, we don't know what that punishment could be, but basically one of the things she said about the Bellas is she basically said, we all know the real reason. You all know the real reason. Basically indicating, you all know that the reason the Bellas are on top is because of John Cena and Daniel Bryan. And if it wasn't for those two, they wouldn't be nothing. Pretty much, that's what she said. But like I said, basically she phrased it as, we all know the real reason. And she did say some other derogatory remarks, like Summer and Lana are too busy figuring out who they're going to climb on to next, or climb on top of next, or get on top of next. Basically saying, I guess in a PG kind of friendly way, those two don't know who they're going to fuck next. Now, true, again, that, you know, when she references Summer Rae and Lana by the wrestling names, it is kind of a bit of a work shoot, but it is a shoot. Now, again, work shoot or legit shoot or whatever, pipe bomb or whatever, is it a little risky, because you're basically allowing that man, that woman, that superstar, that diva, for that one moment, the opportunity to have free reign to say whatever they want, to say whatever they want, to say however they feel, basically speak their mind, get whatever bothering them off their chest, and be done with it. But again, is it risky? Are these pipe bombs a risk? Because sooner or later, what's going to happen is WWE, they're going to give either another superstar or diva, because it's going to happen, they're going to give another superstar or diva a chance to come out and speak their mind. Basically pipe bomb, if you will. And what's going to happen is they're going to go, and what's going to happen, because again, this is the question of whether or not these are risks. What's going to happen is whoever that superstar diva is they're going to do more. They're going to take that opportunity and say, okay, whatever you want, okay, you know, you want me to do this? You know, I'm going to, whatever, or Basically what will happen is whoever does the next pipe bomb, whether it's another star that made a name for themselves on the independent circuit, or it's someone that's been homebrewed by the WWE, what's going to happen is the next person that does a pipe bomb is going to probably be the pipe bomb that really puts the WWE on notice that maybe these pipe bombs, these shoots that we allow these superstars and divas to do on occasions, may be a risk factor. Because the next person that does that, not saying it could happen, but the next person that does that could really put the WWE either in a good light or a bad light. And I think that's what the WWE has to realize is, yes, it's great that you allow this to happen because it gets people's eyes on your product, especially at this time of year. But whether that's the intention or it's not, the truth is it's also a risk factor. You know, it's like at my job, if they decided, okay, Brian, here's a microphone, go and say what you want to say, go say how you truly feel. And we have all the region there. We have all the regional managers. And they said, okay, Brian, or okay, Demi, or okay, so-and-so, or okay, Joy, or okay, Eric, okay, Barbara, or okay, Shane, or okay, even Lance, our store manager. It's like if they gave them a mic and say, go ahead, say how you feel, get whatever's on your mind, or off your whatever on your mind, off your chest, da, da, da. Basically, let it all out. And what would happen is if they did that for us, if they allowed us to do that, it would be a risk factor that would either put our company or our store for that company either in a good light or a bad light. And if it's in a negative way, if we come out and say, yeah, you know, they give us these 15-minute breaks, but really, 15 minutes, honestly, you know, we need more than that. We have people we talk to, keep updates. We need more time, but they don't give it to us because they don't care. Or they don't, I mean, honestly, if I felt like it, I could go out and shoot right now and say how I feel that they need to, and I've even talked to some people, I've said they need to get focus groups going to where they figure out the right appropriate time to send people on the breaks and the lunches. That's, you know, so that way everything works out. There's no confusion. But again, I could come out and I could, but again, like I said, if I was given that opportunity along with anybody else to basically say how we feel in front of the whole region, the whole regional market, if not the whole U.S. international market, you'd either put our company in store in a good light or a bad light. And most of the time, these pipe bombs or Paige bombs or bombshells, as it put it, they may get people's attention on the product, but sometimes they could be a huge, huge risk factor. And true, you know, everything that CM Punk said in his, AJ said in hers, Paige said in hers, they're all valid points. They're basically everything that we, the fans, have been complaining about. It's everything we've been complaining about. You know, and again, like I said, it's not just those three. It could also be homebrewed people. It's you know, sometimes they'll use it to address everything we complain about. But I mean, even John Cena himself, even though he may not pipe bomb or anything, you know, he's being himself, but at least they use him at times, maybe through a mini pipe bomb, even though it may not seem like it. He'll come out and tell someone like Seth Rollins, yeah, you've been a joke of a champion. Pretty much say what we feel. And true, it may not be a true, legit pipe bomb, like, let's say, a CM Punk or a Paige or a AJ Lee would put, but still, it's just a little bit of a pipe bomb, a little bit of a shoot to kind of get your attention, kind of try to at least grasp your attention. But these Paige bombs, bombshells, pipe bombs, these are things that are done by certain individuals, mostly the independently, mostly by those that made a name for themselves, I should say, on the independent circuit before coming to WWE. It's done by them because they're speaking not from just a fan's perspective, they're speaking from an independent wrestler perspective. Like basically, this is why these independent women wrestlers or independent male wrestlers don't want to sign with the WWE because of BS like this. And that they're only going to come in if things change. And to me, again, these pipe bombs could be, great for business, could get people's eyes on the product, but they also can be risk factors, not just for the company itself, but for those that are allowed to do it. Because like I said, sooner or later, the WWE is going to allow somebody to do a pipe bomb, whether it's another superstar or diva, and it's going to be a pipe bomb that they're going to probably regret. I mean, because think about this. You've got several superstars and divas on that roster right now, besides Paige, if you will, that could go out and pipe bomb this company in a negative light. You got people like a Kevin Owens. If he feels like it down the line, he'll end up doing it. You got people like a Dean Ambrose. If he feels like it one day and it happens, he's going to do it. And these two, despite being company men right now, if they get frustrated to the point that, hey, we need to get this off our chest, let us pipe bomb, let us shoot, it could be a huge risk factor. Because the WWE may say, okay, but be careful what you say. Yeah, good luck with that, right? I mean, you even have divas right now that can end up doing the same thing. Sasha Banks could end up doing it someday. Bayley, as nice of a character as she's being portrayed, she can end up doing it someday. The point is these pipe bombs are great for attention. They're great to help get eyes on the product, especially at this time of year. But they're also the kind that could be very risky for the company as well as for those involved. Because what will happen is if they end up saying something that puts the WWE in a negative light, the WWE is going to have no choice but to, while the person's under contract, probably job them out for the next few months and say, hey, hopefully this will teach you a lesson not to say certain things when we allowed you the right to say what you felt, but not to say those things. I know it's a double-edged sword, right? It's like, it's very hypocritical of WWE. It's like, yeah, you can go out and say how you feel, basically get it off your chest and everything, but all of a sudden, once you do that, and you say a certain thing that might get under the skin of people, it's like, okay, we let you, but yeah, it is on us too, but you should have realized that you should have been careful with your words, so we're going to have to do this. So, to me, that is a huge, to me, it's just, I look at it as these are great attention seekers. This is great for wrestling in general, because you're allowing your established stars or your contracted stars, divas or superstars, to come out and finally do what is done usually on places like High Spots or RF video shoot, and that's basically shoot even if it's it's partially a work one, but mostly it's basically if it's partially 25% work. You're allowing them to come out and basically say how everybody feels from everybody looking on the outside looking in feels. You're allowing them to shoot on the project, on the product and all that. But again, it's also a risk factor because they may take the opportunity and say, you know what, screw part of this being a work. I'm just going to come out and say what I really feel. And there'd be nothing you could do about it because basically you would have contractually said, hey, I'm allowing this person to do this. Now, could they cut the mic off if they get a little out of hand? Of course they could. But the point is, are these pipe bombs a risk factor for WWE? And I think they are. Yeah, they're a great attention seeker for them, especially during the fall season, to get eyes on the product.